Hello, I'm Jonathan Kamush, and this is episode 3 of RocketTalk, a Project Essence production. I'm joined by Byong. No, I'm not joined by Byong. That said, I'm joined by Peter.
Hello.
And Bartek.
Hi.
Unfortunately, today Byong couldn't attend. Okay, so this week's space news. First of all, we have the Bereshit lunar lander, which is now on its way to the moon. It launched yesterday, actually 2 days ago when you're watching this, on a Falcon 9 from Cape Canaveral Air Force Base. And it was actually a secondary payload. It was the first time that a lunar mission was a secondary payload. The primary payload was PSN-6. It was an Indonesian geostationary satellite. And there was also a small Air Force, small sat weighing 60 kilograms. The spacecraft itself, the Bereshit, is the smallest lunar lander yet, at 585 kilograms at liftoff. Okay, nice.
Just a side note, I'm interested in the fact that the Bereshit lander, the smallest lander to go to the moon, is on a rideshare program. I feel like it's significant enough to be launched on like an Electron rocket or something, because it's a big occasion. It's first private company to land on the moon. True. And everything.
True. Actually, there's one of the other companies that are still that was part of the original Google Lunar X Prize and is still planning to launch, is going to send their spacecraft on board an Electron. But also about rideshare, this was the first GTO mission of Spaceflight Industries.
Spaceflight Industries, who are they?
They're a company who arranges rideshares. For example, the SSO-A mission to Sun Synchronous Orbit, in which Falcon 9 released 64 satellites, was arranged by them. They also build sometime dispensers for the many satellites.
Interesting. I guess they're kind of like what was it called? Space Adventures, who sent the tourists to the space station, arranged for the tourists to go to the space station. I just find that interesting, because like, how does the legality of that all work? Because technically the rocket or the space station is owned by a company or a group of governments that I guess they give permits for said company to make money off of them. I guess in
this company is also
Space Industries. They basically bought the rocket and then sold out shares.
Did he what?
Bought the rocket and basically sold parts of ride shared.
Wait, Spaceflight Industries?
No. Yeah, okay, that's what
no,
they did.
They don't.
I assume that's what they did.
Yeah, they buy the flight, not necessarily the entire flight. Sometimes they fly as secondary payloads, but SSO-A mission was entirely dedicated for this rideshare. Side note about the name of the Bereshit lander. So, being from Israel and speaking Hebrew, I have full authority to explain the name. So Bereshit, or in Hebrew pronunciation Bereshit, is
it's basically the same.
But the R is slightly different between Hebrew and English. Okay, so it stands for in the beginning, being the first words, the first words in the Bible, and also in Hebrew it's the name of the first chapter, Genesis. So that's the origin of the name.
Hope that the Burst Sheet Lander will be the first of many private moon landers to go to the moon in the near future. Talking about private moon landers, did you hear about NASA accelerating its moon? It's basically its moon lunar program via private
Accelerating.
landers.
I have
Accelerate.
They
actually.
are always accelerating their
But never reaching
lunar
anywhere.
and Martian programs, and nothing comes out of it.
Yes. Though I feel like this lunar thing has a little bit more potential, because I feel like if you can't trust the government space agencies to complete everything, especially when it's super long-term projects such as Martian moon missions, but like when you get the private companies into the ball game, anything can happen. Like we have SpaceX and Blue Origin who want to put Blue Origin wants to put 1 million people into space by the year 2100, which is incredible.
And
incredible
SpaceX
goal.
want to put 1 million people on Mars by the mid 2100, by the mid of this century, actually.
Really? I think it's the first colony, not the first
A
million.
million people. No, in Elon line of the future, he wants 1 million people on Mars by like
Well, he's still alive. You mean?
2050 or 2060, something like that.
I'm not sure if it's feasible, but
Yeah, but it's Elon time, so
it's worth trying.
Agree, worth trying.
Yes, but we'll see if the Starship can really put up to its promise, then it might be viable.
I agree. Yeah, Starship. If Starship gets off the ground even by the mid 2020s, it would just be extraordinary. It's like the first super heavy launch vehicle, completely reusable. I could go on and on about it.
Yeah, we should probably make a video about it.
The first launcher that is fully reusable at all, like not only the first heavy launcher, but the first
to orbit.
Yeah, like fully reusable. I'm not talking about Falcon 9 that has only the first stage reusable, but the entire craft.
Hopefully the fairings in the near future as well will be usable.
Yeah.
Reusable.
I think you're forgetting one thing that isn't reusable: the fuel.
Well, I mean,
it doesn't count.
Fuel doesn't count. It's dirt cheap.
Yes. Elon said
it's not a
in
part
comparison to the rocket. Quick,
you could make an argument that it isn't even a part of the spacecraft.
True. Yeah, I mean, the point is to get it airline to basically get it to. It's like an airline, except it goes to space. That's the whole point of Starship. And airlines pay for fuel, so why can't Starship pay for fuel as well?
Yes. The only difference is that in the future airplanes will probably get electrical.
I wouldn't hold my breath.
I mean, they can get electrical, unlike rockets. So the other big thing that is actually coming up is the DM-1 mission, Demonstration Mission 1, the first flight of the Crew Dragon.
Yes.
This is supposed to launch in about a week. Actually, a bit less than a week.
It's March 2nd.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. DM-1 mission, it's March 2nd. It's going to become a date as significant as my birthday, just because I will hold it in that high of esteem. DM-1, yes.
Yes, long waited.
Pardon me if I'm over enthusiastic.
You're not. Okay, so for those a bit of the details. So this mission goes to the ISS. Supposed to. The booster is B1051. It's the first flight for this booster. And the mission is
New
going to
Falcon
launch
Heavy.
from LC-39A. The
Launch
famous...
pad 39A?
Yes,
The same one that launched Saturn V, Apollo 11 to the
and
moon.
more than half of the shuttles. So, yeah, that's holy ground.
Nothing like space history.
And
to
also the Falcon
carry us
Heavy
further
launched
on.
from there, and going to launch from
Right.
there in... Oh, I just see now that Arabsat got delayed. Arabsat is the Falcon Heavy launch. It says not earlier than March. So it was...
Why? We want Falcon Heavy back.
Okay, so it's still the same month, but let's see. So
Falcon
it was
Heavy
supposed to
just-
launch... Oh, no. It didn't... Okay, so my other thing shows March 7th. So that's 5 days after DM-1. So
That's
DM-1
quick refurbish.
it's not the
time
same
for
booster.
launch
It's not the
pad.
same booster. Oh, for the launch site it is, and not only that. 1 second. So DM-1 is supposed to launch on to land on Mos Eisley on Of Course I Still Love You, the drone ship. Unlike the Dragon resupply missions, which land on LZ-1. The reason is that a cargo Dragon is not very heavy. It's a few tons, while a crew Dragon is way heavier because of its abort engines, its fuel, many reasons. It's much heavier, so it lands on the drone ship. So Mos Eisley actually is really working hard on this month, because it just 2 days ago the booster from the Bereshit launch landed on it. Now it needs to go back to Cape Canaveral, deliver the booster back, then go back to sea to capture the booster from DM-1,
Recording.
then bring it back
Footsteps
and
now.
go back
My
even
recording.
further to catch the core booster for Arabsat 6A. And
Out.
yes, one other thing was the Spaceship 2 made its second flight to space. Well, space it depends actually, because it got to 89.9 kilometers, which is not above the Kármán line, but by the standards of the US Air Force, it does qualify as space. And this time it had the first passenger on it. Not the first human, because it requires pilots, and it carried pilots on the first mission to space. Those actually got their astronaut wings a few weeks ago, I think. And this time
Sweet.
they also carried another passenger, the crew training officer from Virgin Galactic.
Interesting. I would imagine that they, I guess they have already gotten past the phase where they send up a monkey or whatever.
I don't think they did that.
They didn't? But it's a precious part of spaceflight history. The launch of one of the first Mercury capsules with Chimp inside it. Chimp the monkey
Yes.
inside it.
By the way, do you guys know how much one launch of Virgin Galactic's spaceship would cost?
How much?
I'm asking you guys.
Oh,
I
because
think it's
I'm not quite
$100,000
sure.
a passenger. And how many passengers does it have? Like, I'm guessing 4, 6.
well, actually, I don't know how many passengers,
it's
but
less
I
than
would
that.
prefer to fly on the New Shepard for a few reasons. If I actually had the chance to fly on any of them.
Right.
One, New Shepard, I believe it's safer, because
Inclined to agree.
yeah, the Spaceship 1 Enterprise did have a catastrophic
Crap.
accident. One of the test pilots got killed, and the other one was severely injured in the incident. And also, I just this thing looks too dangerous to me. But the New Shepard is much more redundant, and also it looks way cooler to me to launch in a capsule. It also goes higher, as Jeff Bezos stressed out a few days ago.
Jeff who? Okay, let's not go into that.
But there's one
Elon
flight.
Musk that was one of the best things Elon Musk did, is make that joke. Other than, of course, everything
but Blue
else
Origin
that
is
he
also
did,
awesome.
Does.
Blue Origin is also awesome.
Blue Origin is awesome.
Actually, I think they reused New Shepard more than SpaceX did with any Falcon.
And they did the landing before them.
Agreed.
And they did the landing a year earlier.
Actually,
it's not as impressive as SpaceX, but it's still impressive.
Yeah, it's still impressive.
And the New Glenn is a beast.
I fully agree.
New Glenn is a beast.
New Glenn is a beast. I'm looking forward to when that launches, because it will be something to watch. I mean, like, it's gigantic. Also, super sleek, modern design of a rocket. It looks like a skyscraper taking off to orbit.
It looks like a bullet. Actually,
yeah, a bullet.
With the casing.
Yeah, right, yeah, the fairings, the silver color. It's a silver bullet.
Let's hope that it doesn't crash like a bullet into anything.
You know, actually, the first concept of the first time someone proposed the concept of orbit, it was in a cannon projectile. The man who proposed that, but actually
Sir Isaac Newton
was Sir Isaac Newton. Old Bow.
I know my science.
Old Bow. He didn't actually propose that as a mean to get to orbit. The orbit, the implementation we use today, but as a demonstration to his physical theory. And yes,
basically how gravity described how an orbit would work.
Yes, how gravity does some cool stuff.
Did I ever tell you guys I actually got to meet one of a Blue Origin employee?
What?
I met a Blue Origin employee.
That's nice.
Yeah. I even got to interview him for 2 hours about all sorts of stuff. It was amazing.
Is this somewhere on YouTube, or what was this?
No. It was just a personal interview, just me and him. We were just talking space science stuff. Though he did drop a couple of hints about Blue Origin's future, which hasn't been press released yet. Though he made me promise not to tell anyone. I think I'll give you some hints. For example, I'm trying to think of the best way to form this so that this Blue Origin employee, when watching this video, doesn't immediately call me out and say, "You broke your promise."
So maybe you should just don't say that, and maybe we can get him to an interview.
That would be.
I mean,
you shouldn't.
No one watches us anyway, so.
I mean, you shouldn't. Yeah, but you shouldn't reveal secrets of a company owned by Jeff Bezos.
Yeah,
he will get you.
Yes, and if he won't, he can not get you the stuff you buy on Amazon.
Yeah, right. I signed up for New Shepard. Oh,
actually,
your name
I'm
accidentally
intrigued.
got scratched from the applicant list.
Actually, I'm intrigued. Can you purchase New Shepard flights from Amazon? Or maybe a New Glenn?
Probably not. Oh, I just want to spend $100 million on purchasing a New Glenn rocket. Oh, here's my bank account thing. Whatever you do when you do a transaction of over $100 million.
Yeah, and just the usual stuff.
Right.
More stuff.
Going back to Crew Dragon topic, do you know when the DM-2 is going to take place?
DM-2 will take some more time. So actually, the capsule which will fly on DM-1 is hopefully it will land safely about 2 weeks later, after a brief stay at the International Space Station. And then the same capsule will be used for the Crew Dragon in-flight abort. It won't carry crew. In this flight, actually, they're going to use the same booster from the Bereshit launch. It's going to be the fourth flight of this booster. They'll have a second stage with the dummy engine. And unfortunately, the booster will probably not survive the flight.
Isn't Elon Musk going to blow it up on purpose?
It doesn't need to. It will just disintegrate in midair and probably blow up. So the thing is, in max Q, the booster is going to shut down its engines, and then the capsule will trigger the abort in the capsule, which will fire its 8 super Dracos to pull it away to safety. So the booster will be at max Q with just a flat forward and 8 super Dracos firing around it. So I don't think it will survive. It's very unlikely.
But on which mission is it?
Crew Dragon in-flight abort. It's supposed to launch on May. And then we are supposed to have DM-2 on July.
Yeah, with
another capsule.
People.
Yes, it's supposed to carry 2 astronauts to
Yes.
the ISS for a very brief stay of about a week or 2. And then in August we were supposed to have USCV-1, which is the first actual mission of the commercial crew program, carrying astronauts for an actual stay at the station. This is of course subject to changes and delays. But let's hope
it will probably go up December. I mean, that's me being pessimistic, but I feel like December, maybe November if we're lucky.
Yes. Okay. And
but Starliner will be even worse. It's already delayed till
yes, they're both delayed.
It's already delayed.
They both got delayed. Seriously.
True. Oh yeah, it got delayed till August.
Yeah.
The first flight? But I think they're not having an in-flight abort test. I don't think they're having an in-flight abort test.
Why won't they do that?
By the way, why is it? Why is
I
that?
don't know, but I don't think they are.
I've heard about it, but...
And they also...
Maybe they'll do some sort of...
I mean, they also haven't done yet their ped abort test, which is something they need to do.
It says here that that Starliner actually supposedly will launch an uncrewed mission in April this year.
Oh, this is great.
Indeed.
On an Atlas V.
So that's on April. It's also supposed. Wait, does it say which Atlas V? It's the N22,
it's
right?
Probably going to be
N22.
It's probably going to be a 511, I think.
Why 5? Wait,
because I think
no, N22.
I feel like that Atlas is in business right now.
Wait, but 511 means it has a 5
payloads are getting lighter and lighter.
No,
I feel like.
No, but that means you have a 5-meter fairing. You don't have any fairing with this. You have N.
Which is an interesting conundrum.
N22 is the launcher for
considering that we have an entrance of all these gigantic new rockets.
The Starliner needs the N22 configuration. It needs 2 solid boosters, and also it needs 2 RL-10s for the upper stage. Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut, he explains this quite good, and also in his recent video. Also, Scott Manley made a video about it, but it was a long time ago.
Yeah, I've just checked on the internet, and it's Atlas V in N22 configuration. Okay. Right.
Also, okay, so
first mission.
April is supposed to be amazing. In April, we are supposed to have CRS-17, STP-2, which is the second mission for Falcon Heavy in this year, and Starship Hop tests. Starhopper is going to fly.
I can't wait till Starhopper.
But you have to.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
No,
it's not actually.
I don't want to wait.
It's not going to be
Me neither.
Starhopper. It's going to be this Grasshopper. Wait. Okay, never mind.
I don't care. I want to see. I want to see
Never
a.
mind.
I want to. See,
I don't care.
we're
I want
going
to
to say Starhopper,
But I want to see a
Starhopper
methane
because
engine.
we want to say it.
I want to
Yeah,
see a methane.
you were saying Starhopper, and I was hearing spaceship for some
Yes.
reason.
I want to see. I want to see a Methalox engine firing, lifting a spacecraft, then landing it, then actually realizing it's not a spacecraft because it only got to 5 kilometers, then realizing we'll have to wait some more for the actual spacecraft. But it's also, but nevertheless, it's going to be so amazing.
By the way, I think there wasn't much news on Starship development lately.
There haven't been. That's true. Lately,
Yeah, after the accident with the storm.
we did see the many engine fire tests, and the engine did break the record of the RD-180. And actually, about that, Dmitry Rogozin, the president of Roscosmos, the Russian Federal Space Agency, he actually joined the list of people who doubt Elon's ability of building a better engine, and he said that Elon doesn't have the engineering things to do that, to talk about it or something like that. And Elon replied, engineering skills, something like that. Elon replied that he's been the chief engineer of SpaceX since the beginning, and yes,
he said the chief technical officer.
Yes, he said, but actually he also said had he been better, they wouldn't have lost the first 3 Falcon 1 missions. But I mean,
it was their first rocket.
Yes, and still
they had no experience,
and still became the first privately developed rocket to reach orbit. So it's still an achievement, and still a great rocket. Actually, it's still it hasn't flown yet since then. It had 2 more missions, but that's it. But actually, it holds a very low price tag of I believe $11,000 per kilogram, which is quite low.
Wow.
It's about
back in 2000 and when was that? 6? When that launched? When it was?
I think it was 2006.
It's still inflation isn't that much. It's still a lot. It's still nothing.
I mean, in comparison to back then when we didn't have Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy destroying the market for rocket launchers. Like back then, that's like still undercuts like Atlas and ULA missions.
No, but Atlas is it's very reliable. It has a few advantages.
True.
One advantage which is unique to the Atlas rocket is in geosynchronous missions. It actually, the center upper stage of the Atlas can actually insert you to geosynchronous orbit, and you don't have to go to GTO. It of course means smaller payload, but that gives you some benefits of not having to wait that much.
Yeah,
Actually,
the wonder of the Russian RL-10 engine, which by the way, the Raptor just beat in terms of efficiency and definitely thrust. Hurrah!
Yeah.
They
Wait,
should
the
strap
RL-10?
a
RL-10?
Raptor
Did you say
onto the upper
RL-10?
stage of an Atlas.
Did you say RL-10?
RL-10.
No,
Yes, I
the
said
Raptor isn't better. In
RL-10.
terms of specific impulse, it's not better than the RL-10, not in vacuum.
Yeah.
because the RL10 is a Hydrolox engine.
Yeah. But you were talking about chamber pressure.
In chamber pressure,
right?
The chamber pressure of the RL10 isn't that high.
About that.
But
what was that engine? Oh, it's the RD180.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, RD180 wasn't even, I think, used on anything. It was just
no,
tested.
It is. RD180 is the first stage engine for the Atlas.
Yeah, it's the first stage for the Atlas.
It was.
Wait.
Bartek,
it was.
You are not updated.
I believe it was the RD181 that was the engine. This was the engine for the boosters, for the Buran Energia launcher, for the Energia, and Buran was the payload of it. It actually turned out those boosters actually was used to build the Zenith launcher, which is quite successful, and I believe it's still in use. But RD180, which is a two-nozzle, two-chamber variant of it, is used on the Atlas.
Might we add that the RD180 as it has two chambers, it can hold. It can if it had one chamber, it would have to hold half the chamber pressure. I'm not a rocket scientist yet, but I'm using my intuition. Yet. That's a vital word. I feel like we've covered a lot of news so far, a lot of interesting conversation. I would like to mention that we are actually holding a giveaway of 4 different video games. The links are the names are in the description, and they will probably flash on the screen right now. I hope I am right about this latter bit. And if you want either of these video games, please comment below, share this video, and we'll be holding a raffle to see. And by next Rocket Talk, we will decide upon who gets these video games. And
also, I would like to suggest you can join our public Discord. It's open. You can ask us questions, things. Maybe you'd like to join us. We are still recruiting people. You can also support us on Patreon. And please, one thing I'd like to stress out: if you dislike this video, that's okay. But I'd really like to ask you to comment and say what was wrong, what we can improve, because it's really helpful.
Yes. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.
Thank you, guys.
Goodbye.